NFL Week 9, we got Colts, Panthers. Let's get into it. Carolina coming off their first win of the season, and I had a best bet on Carolina last week at +3. For anyone who listened to my game breakdown on the Houston versus Carolina game last week, I talked about why I liked Carolina. Big part of it was because of the change in play calling from head coach Frank Reich to now offensive coordinator Thomas Brown calling plays. I said that we'd see a completely different style of offense. Well, we didn't. I couldn't even tell the difference. And that's called a bad handicap. Despite the bet winning, I was way off on how they would win. Maybe this week versus an Indy defense that is allowing a ton of points is where we do see the Carolina offense change. I bet again on Carolina this week at +3, but at the current number of +2.5, really like Carolina in teasers, getting them up across 7 to +8.5. And one of the reasons why I like Carolina this week is because last week, on the Colts' third or fourth drive of the game, can't remember exactly which one, Minshew scrambled and was tripped up just shy of the end zone, and Colts had to settle for a field goal. But Minshew never looked the same in that game, and I think he's hurt. It's not being 100% reported, and we've already seen examples this year of teams downplaying or outright hiding QB injuries. It's just weird all-around reporting on injuries. But with Anthony Richardson already done for the year, I can't help but think the Colts are kind of hiding this Minshew injury or just not reporting it, and I feel like they're forced to play him even if he's less than 100%. And this is just speculation, of course. But I also like this situation here for Carolina with head coach Frank Reich in a revenge game spot here. He's very familiar with his former team as he spent a lot of time with the Colts. He especially knows the Colts' current defensive coordinator, Gus Bradley's tendencies and what he likes to do. Colts defense has already been allowing monster games. I mean, they just allowed 500 yards to the Saints last week, which is crazy considering how that offense has struggled this year. Colts have become a dead nuts over team. In fact, the Colts are the only team to score at least 20 points in all 8 games this season so far. Colts run game looks good too. They managed to have 6.8 yards per carry versus a Saints run defense that rates in the top 10 in almost every metric. Zach Moss, Jonathan Taylor, they both broke off 40-yard runs last week. So the Panthers will need to score in order to keep up, and think they should be able to against an Indy secondary that's really banged up, and they have some young guys playing big roles in that secondary. Like I said at the top, Carolina's offense last week didn't make the big change like I was expecting with Thomas Brown now calling the plays, but there was some promising takeaways from that game. We saw a lot of early down passes. 60% of their drives started with a pass, and those early first, second down passes did well with a 55% success rate. This is a positive change from the 40% number Frank Reich had in neutral game states when he was calling plays. But I'd be lying if I said it was all good for Carolina. Their offensive line is going to get Bryce Young killed. I just hope it's not this game. Bryce Young took a combined 55 yards in losses from sacks last week. Carolina doesn't have a run game either to take the pressure off Bryce Young. He took a couple brutal hits last week too. Market seems to agree with Carolina though, because when this line got to Colts -3, we saw a lot of sharp money come in and bet Carolina +3 and force this number back down to +2.5 or +2. Hopefully Carolina can build off last week's win. That was actually Carolina's first time having a fourth quarter comeback since October of 2018. That's pretty crazy, but that's all I got for this one. Until next time, good luck with your bets, and as always, may all the refs' calls and all the loose balls go your way.